Okay, we're back after a brief break. And the respondent is calling its next witness, which is Mr. Luce. Is it pronounced Luce?
It's pronounced Los.
Los, okay. Mr. Los, if I can have you raise your right hand, I'll administer the oath. Do you swear that the testimony you are about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. And if you could spell your first and last name for me.
James. Last name is Loos.
Thank you. Whenever you're ready.
Could you tell us what your position is with Channeled Resources?
I'm the plant manager.
And what is your general responsibilities in that position?
The general is the day-to-day operations of everything under this roof.
And in that role, do you come in contact with the employees of the company?
Yes.
And you're familiar with Mr. Okon?
Yep.
And during the time that Mr. Okon worked at Channeled Resources, did you understand that there were some conflicts with any other employees?
Yes.
What do you recall about that?
There's a couple instances of just not getting along with other employees. Do you want specific?
Whatever you can recall.
Yeah. I know there was one incident with safety glasses between Mr. Okon and another employee on the floor. There was the other incident which led to the end of the employment was the not showing up for 3 days. I'm trying to recall if there was one other one, but I off the top of my head I don't recall it right away.
Okay. Did you get involved in meetings to try to work out differences with the employees?
Yeah, typically I don't get involved until it's become, a bigger issue than what can be resolved at the supervisor or lead position level.
Okay. So if there was a meeting with you, then that meant it had become pretty serious?
Correct.
So if Sally had testified about a note that she did previously where you had sat down with her and Mr. Okon and another employee, that meant that situation had become pretty serious at that point?
Correct.
Okay. Did you get involved in any of the write-ups of any of the employees?
Yeah, well, I mean, yes and no. So if it got to that point, I would sit in when the write-ups were given. Um, in that aspect. So.
Okay. Mr. Okon had talked about forklifts. Let me back up. At your plant, what do you do with a forklift? How is it used?
Typically it's used, obviously, I'm sorry, I just had a blip on my computer. I thought I was going dead. So forklifts, paper rolls are obviously fairly heavy, so we use that to move around most of the material that we have. We also use it to load and unload machines, load trucks, unload trucks, I think.
In Mr. Okon's position, was he responsible for operating a forklift?
No.
That was not part of the. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so we have designated forklift operators on all shifts. So there's always someone on staff that that's gone through the safety training and everything required to drive the forklift.
Okay, and that's during every shift?
Yes, first, second, and third. Yep.
Okay, and was there a situation where OSHA came in to look at your forklift safety issues?
Yes.
And was there any issue with the forklift issues with OSHA?
No.
Okay. And at Channeled Resources, if an employee does not show up for 3 days of work, what happens?
That's considered a self-termination.
And did you have any understanding of why Mr. Okon was terminated from Channel Resources?
Yes, so he was given a 3-day suspension. And the days were listed out for him. He didn't like those days, so he just chose not to come in. Which resulted in the termination.
That's all I have at this point.
Okay, Mr. Okon, any specific questions for Mr. Lowe?
Absolutely. I think he is actually mixing up some incidences, but it's okay. I can rearrange all that. First of all, the incident he talks about that he was involved in on signing me, terminating me pretty much, was the safety classes issues, which, like I did talked when Stephen Nelson was up. It's an issue that they refuse to address on the other side. And when I told them when and where I use my safety glasses, they totally ignore it and still emphasized on that I didn't wear it based on what Mr. White uh, explained to them, which I never was in the same room when Mr. White told them anything that I can actually like, this is what actually where I was wearing my glasses and this is where I didn't put it on because I was doing the XYZ task. And that's where they wrote me up. Then why didn't
again,
I'm asking
okay.
I'm
All
asking
right.
the question. I want him to understand that situation first, how it led to him being part of it. So I'm like, when I did say that, why didn't you, Mr. James Lowe's, didn't address that issue based on that aspect of the complaint?
Let me ask, Mr. Lowe, so you were involved in the safety glasses issue. Do you recall if anyone or if you yourself specifically spoke with Mr. Okon about the allegation that he was not wearing safety glasses?
Yeah, I recall talking about it. The most I can recall without pulling the paperwork is that the individual wasn't wearing the safety glasses, and someone said something about it. There is a requirement that everybody wears safety glasses on our floor, and that's always been that way. So that's why the issue was addressed.
But you don't know if anyone spoke to Mr. Okon about whether he was wearing them or not wearing them?
Oh yeah, well, yeah, we spoke to him, and he openly told us that he wasn't wearing them because he was looking at his computer screen, I believe it was.
Okay.
Two, about the forklift. I will always use this as illustration. Like, I'm a pilot when I only sit down and watch simulation video of a pilot. I have to do the hands-on. So I was in a situation that I was driving forklift because I have to do it. Like Salif actually said, the machine I was running was a 2-people machine, but sometimes I have to do it all by myself. I load it, I unload it, and never did complain about it, And I wasn't hands-on trained on forklift. And Mr. Laws, please, you just mentioned that they have a designated forklift drivers in all shifts. In the ETI department that I was working, who was the second shift forklift driver? And why wasn't that person doing the job that was supposed to be done by a forklift driver, like pulling down the rolls for me to load and taking the finished rolls out that I
Okay,
was
so
doing?
who was the forklift driver for second shift, if you recall, in 2018,
In
19,
the ETI department.
in ETI?
We don't have, there's several designated forklift drivers throughout the whole plant that are available to pull down rolls and load machines if need be. So there's a long list. Our lead person, his name is Turk Lore. He is a designated forklift operator, along with several of the winder operators. And I believe there was a couple individuals in the ETI department at that time too that were designated forklift drivers or had the training, so to speak, to drive them.
And who,
Hold on. Would it surprise you if Mr. Okon was driving the forklift on that shift?
Yeah, it would surprise me. I mean, he didn't go through the training for it. So, I mean, not everybody on any of the shifts. I mean, I guess there's a certain amount of people that don't have that training. And then they just flag someone down or get the designated driver to do what they need with the forklift.
Is the training just what does training for forklift look like? How does it go? How does that work?
So there's a video that we do that they watch along with a short quiz after that, and then we also do a hands-on one where myself and one other individual in the plant is a trainer, and we just go through a checklist.
Okay.
was I ever in any of those, part of those? Mr. Lewis?
I'm sorry.
What did I ever partake in that hands-on training? Please?
Not by me, no, and I don't believe you were by the
And
other gentleman either.
yeah, my question again goes back to who was the designated forklift driver for ETI department? Second shift that I was working on, why was I still doing the forklift duties, which I was threatened and I've been humiliated for not doing. Well, I was intimidated pretty much and challenged on that. The who was supposed to be doing and why was I doing it? It's all on record. That's why the reason Osha came in.
Is there a question? Because I think you already answered the first part.
I think he did already answer about the designated forklift driver for second shift. It said that he
But
remembered
okay.
Turk specifically, but that he thought there were others, but he didn't recall the name specifically. Is that right, Mr. Los?
Yeah, there's several people. I'm just saying. So the lead would be Turk Lore. There was Chris Danchek as a certified driver. I'd have to pull the names of the people. I mean, that was 2 years ago already. So I know there's several people on every shift, though. We make sure we have it covered.
And my next question is about the Osha whistleblowing thing. You mentioned that OSHA didn't find any specifically forklift violation, where the letter I got from OSHA was that based on me, I did not have any injury during the course of that time I was there doing what I wasn't supposed to be doing, but I have to do it to keep my job or I lose it. And does it mean that OSHA didn't find other violations in that facility?
Did OSHA find any violations during its
Investigation?
investigation?
Yes, there was two. There's two things with guarding that they found on one of the pieces of equipment, which we resolved, and it was taken care of. Outside of that, there was nothing.
And nothing related to forklifts.
Not that I recall, no.
Okay. Any other questions? Again, Mr. Okon, you'll have a chance to talk about those things in your own testimony, but any questions for Mr. Los?
At this point, those are the things I would like to ask him, and I'll save for later.
Okay. Redirect?
No, nothing.
Okay, Mr. Los, it sounds like you are dismissed. Is he the last witness then?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your time, Mr. Los.
Okay. What do you need from us now? We
Just Cindy Nielsen back. As the representative, but she doesn't need to testify again.
Okay, she's right here. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so the respondent rests. Well, let's go through your exhibits first.
Yeah, I think I've got the numbers that we went through to move in.
I do too. Let's make sure those page numbers match. I'll try I can do them in the order you introduced them, or I'll try to do them in numerical order. What would you prefer?
Maybe numerical, that's what I've got it down.
Okay, so I have 16, and these are just the page numbers, Mr. Okon, that the respondent wants to introduce. They're all ones that they talked about.
Okay.
So next I think would be 19,
Right,
20, 21,
correct,
22,
right?
23 through 25,
Was it
27.
What,
Pardon?
did you do 26? I thought I had 26. Hang on. We talked about 26 as well. I think that was the signature page.
Did we? Let me look.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Okay.
So,
26.
Yep.
27, 28.
right.
31, 32.
I'm not moving 30 in. I think I had 30.
I don't have 30 written down, but I have 31 through 32, and then 33, 34.
Okay, so I don't need 31. 32 through 34 is fine.
32 through 34.
Yes, that I'd move in.
Well, 31 is the first page of that text. I
Oh.
think we need that in there for. I have it up on the screen. This is what I have as page 31.
Oh. Okay, so 31, hang on, I gotta make sure I got mine, because I think I had mine one page after. So 31, that's what you have as 31? Okay, 31. I don't need 32, 'cause that's separate.
To
That's
me,
a
it looks the same.
No, it's a separate email. 31 is a text page.
But it goes on to the next. Okay, well, look
No.
on the screen what I'm showing you.
Oh,
30
31, 32. Okay,
Yeah.
then no 33, got it, okay.
Okay, so you don't, you don't need 33 then?
No,
Okay,
sorry about that.
all right. 34,
Is,
email to Cindy.
yes,
Okay, and then I've got 42, 43, 44.
yes, I do all those in.
Okay, 46 through 47,
Yes,
and 53 through 56.
yes.
All right, any that I missed?
No, I think that's all I had.
Okay. Okay, any objection, Mr. Okon, to the respondent putting those documents into the record?
No, we'll go through it.
Okay. All right. So, so with that, those documents are received, the ones that we just indicated. With that, then I'll consider the respondent to have rested.
Can you say that again, please?
I'm asking if the respondent is done presenting its case.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Okon. So this would be the opportunity for you to present rebuttal information. So if you want to respond, and I did allow some of that response during their case, but if there's more information that you want to address regarding what they've presented, you can do that now through your testimony. And I'll just remind you that you are still under oath. You don't have to provide anything further. This is your opportunity if you wish.
I don't have anything. Let's just go to what they have on the screen, then I'll be on that.
Okay. So you have nothing further?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, that then would be the close of the case. I am not asking for briefs in this matter. I often don't where there's a pro se party. But I don't think that the law or the facts are particularly complex that the brief would be very helpful. So, with the close of the record today, that would be the close of any evidence that I can put into the case. And I will issue a written decision. My goal is to have that done within 90 days of today. And that will come to you by U.S. mail. So if an address were to change, please let me know that right away. Mr. Okon, we're still using the mailing address that you provided to us long
Yes.
ago?
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Wisconsin? Yep.
Okay. All right. Any questions for me? Otherwise, we will close the record.
Nothing from us.
We're good.
No question. I just want to see the outcome, then I move to the next case, which I
Yes.
still intend to do.
Okay. Yeah, and I will say that when you receive that decision, if it's a finding of probable cause, there are no appeal rights, so it would just go straight to a hearing on the merits. But if it is a finding of no probable cause, there will be appeal rights for you in there, Mr. Okon. So, and they're pretty fast, so you do need to pay attention to that. And when you do get that, just be sure to act timely if need be. So,
Okay.
all right. Thank you all. Have a very good weekend.
Yeah. Me
Thank
too.
you.
Thanks. You too. Bye.
Take care.
You too. Bye.